The Heat have one player on their mind this offseason, and did you just hear what Damian Lillard said?
Everybody keeps saying Damian Lillard is going to be traded to the Knicks, to the Heat, to the Celtics, to the Nets. Out of those teams, which one will you be like, that's not too bad?
Miami, obviously.
Easy! Dame says he wants to be there. Go get Dame. But there's a problem. Several, actually. What would they trade for Dame? How many picks does Miami have to deal? Oh, there will be other teams interested too. We just got a rumor about a major trade to get Dame outside of Miami. But the Heat must get this done. We saw them make the finals as the 8th seed. Why? Because they were horrible in the regular season. Dead last in points per game. 25th overall in offense. 27th from 3, 25th in assists. Then what happened? Jimmy Butler became Superman, beat Milwaukee and the Knicks. Caleb Martin randomly became an all-star against the Celtics. Where did that come from? Heat culture? Well, when is Heat culture gonna turn into actual NBA titles again? Because in the finals, it failed. Jimmy was Superman against Giannis and the Bucks, but hurt his ankle against the Knicks, then slowed down all the way to the finals. He can't carry the offense, but Damian Lillard can. He instantly becomes their #1 option. Jimmy doesn't even really want that job. Last year, Dame was the 3rd leading scorer in the NBA, behind only Joel Embiid and Luka Doncic. He is clutch in the playoffs. There might not be a more perfect fit for the Heat. And if they don't get him, this squad will start to wind down. Or do they have another deep playoff run in them? That is what Pat Riley has to ask himself. Now, I want to look at who else could get Dame, if Portland's even going to trade him, but what else does Miami need? Once they faced Denver, their size was obvious. Just too small. They need height and length all over the court. All year, size was an issue next to Bam. So they turned to like 34-year-old Kevin Love and Cody Zeller in the playoffs. Now, some of the names they could get in free agency are not sexy. They have to spend most of their money on like a Damian Lillard if that's the plan. So these names are pretty cheap. Do we see Dwight Howard return to the NBA? Seriously. Christian Wood could be available. Mason Plumlee is a free agent. Thomas Bryant, Andre Drummond, Bismack Biyombo, or just re-sign Kevin Love. They also need depth at almost every position, but Max Strus and Gabe Vincent are both free agents, and they can only afford to keep one. I predict they will bring back Vincent, who dropped 29 points against the Celtics, and they let Strus walk in free agency. Then there's the new CBA. We mention it on every offseason video, but it's a huge deal. The Heat are over the limit, so in 2 years, they will have restrictions like no mid-level exception, no buyout signings like they had with Kevin Love this year, limits on how many picks they can trade, no cash, and can't aggregate salaries in a trade, which is huge. In 2 years, a Damian Lillard deal is impossible. They can't put like Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson together to get Damian Lillard. It's not possible. It would have to be like Jimmy Butler for Damian Lillard or no deal. So if Pat Riley's gonna do this, it has to be right now. You cannot wait for next year. How cool would it be to see Dame and Jimmy get their first chip together? Now, obviously, the deal would begin with Tyler Hero, but are the Blazers going to trade Dame? The Ringer just reported that Portland is serious about keeping him. The front office is exploring deals for the #3 pick and Anthony Simons. Jaylen Brown, Pascal Siakam, or Mikal Bridges would make sense, but it's unclear what level of appetite the Blazers have for that kind of trade. Come draft night, they might just pick. And if they do that, Dame will request a trade. He has said over and over, not interested in playing with any more 19-year-olds. But then, we got a huge report from Shams. The Pelicans are aggressively pursuing the #2 or 3 pick. Then he said they could look hard internally about trading Zion Williamson. And even could look hard internally about trading Zion Williamson? What? Would the Blazers pair Dame with Zion? I mean, never mind any of the off-court issues with Zion, which honestly I haven't even followed because it's none of my business. He's never healthy. Dude cannot stay on the court, and we haven't seen 1 minute in the postseason with Zion. How are you gonna try to win a chip with that? I think a more realistic trade would be the Blazers getting Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, and 3 firsts, and the Pelicans getting Anthony Simons and the number 3 pick, which they used to take Scoot. This is not just about getting Scoot for New Orleans. It's about getting their salary down. They're about to have to pay Herb Jones and would get BI's max off their books. With this new CBA, this extends their course timeline by getting their best players on lower contracts. Ingram is a really good number 2 for Dame to make a big 3 with Jeremy Grant. Herb is defense, which they desperately need. They also get back several picks, including the number 14 overall in this year's draft. The problem is Scoot might not be available at 3. So the Pels would have to deal with the Hornets at 2. Could LaMelo be paired with Zion? That would leave Portland trying to find a different star for Dame. But who's interested? I mean, the Nets say they want to keep Mikal Bridges. We have heard nothing from Jaylen Brown or Pascal Siakam. So if one of those big deals doesn't come, then Portland would keep the pick, draft Scoot, and trade Dame. That is where the Heat come in. But do they have enough to get Dame? Yes, they do, but you're not gonna like it. Of course, every Heat fan wants the Blazers getting Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and 3 firsts, the most firsts they can offer, for Damian Lillard. Then you got a big 3, Jimmy, Bam, and Dame. That's not realistic. Portland would get much better offers for Damian Lillard if he's available. His other top destination is the Brooklyn Nets. Their offer could be like Dame for Spencer Dinwiddie, Joe Harris, and Cam Thomas, plus 7 firsts. I'm not saying they trade all 7, but there's some really valuable picks in there. I mean, Portland could get Houston swap in 2025, could be top 3. They get a Phoenix first in 2029. KD's gone, Devin Booker, they're a horrible team. All Miami can give is 3 crappy firsts and Tyler Hero. And by the way, just because Dame says he wants to go to the Nets or the Heat, some other team could come available with a really great trade and Dame could go there. So how does Miami beat out all these trades? By dealing Bam Adebayo. That is the only way to beat every other offer. And I know Miami fans hate that idea, but if Hero is all you have, that's not good enough. Now, the wild card in all this is, what does Dame want? I mean, if he goes to their front office and says, I want Miami, I do think they would fulfill his wish. But there are rumors that the Heat are linked with 2 other star guards if Dame doesn't work out, Bradley Beal and Kyrie Irving. Shams says they made an offer for Kyrie before the Mavericks swooped in last year. They could circle back on him, and the Wizards just got a new GM. He has been given permission to completely rebuild if needed. Beal has a no-trade clause to control where he goes. The problem with both guys is health. Beal missed 92 games the last 4 years. Kyrie is rarely available. Dame is coming off his best season yet. It's a long shot, but the Heat could get back to the finals and win it. But the Denver Nuggets won this year and they got lucky. They had no idea what they were getting with Nikola Jokic. Now, I admit that they maximized that luck building around him. But how did he go from out-of-shape rookie to the best current player in the league? Check it out.